Now at 6, the winter blast is here.
It's pretty serious.
Dumping snow and ice in its wake as it takes aim on the Carolinas. News Channel 36 has you covered with crews across the region, plus the most accurate forecast where you live as people prepare for the storm. Your winter blast coverage starts right now.
Good evening. I'm Anjanette Flowers in for Sonia Gant.
And I'm Dave Wagner. That snow began falling in the North Carolina mountains early this afternoon, and we're about to get walloped here. And these pictures just in from the West Charlotte show the gentle flakes falling around here. Mobile newsrooms from News Channel 36 have found out across Charlotte to Sugar Mountain and Avery County, from York County up to Hickory. But first, the latest from the First Warning Storm Team and Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich.
Yeah, we continue to watch the snow move in across the area. Heavy snow north of Charlotte. Here in Charlotte, it's been occasionally moderate to heavy. To the south, we're seeing a little let up in the action, actually a little bit of rain showing up, but it looks like most of that is still falling as a mixture of sleet or snow. It's still snowing here at the studios. Further to the north, we're seeing accumulating snows up into the southern part of Iredell County, back into Catawba County, as well as parts of Lincoln County, up into parts of Burke and Caldwell County. This is where we've seen some treacherous roadways right along Interstate 40 and 321. The temperatures here have dropped below freezing. Now further east, temperatures are just beginning to fall, so we're seeing that changeover back to snow. As we go to the west, though, look at the snow, which continues to move in, and as we get back into northern Alabama, this is where there's a big slug of moisture moving into the north. That's going to interact with the cold air, which is already in place, and look at all this snow, which stretches from Oklahoma City, where it's still snowing, all the way across the country here to Charlotte. So we've got a ways to go tonight where we're going to see a continuing mix of snow and sleet. Coming up a little bit later, I'll show you how much snow we could see. But for now, let's go out to Daniela Lopez. She's outside tracking some of the snow here outside the studios. And Daniela, what are you seeing out there right now?
Well, Brad, it's just a very light snow that's falling right now. But I do have to say it's falling at a pretty steady pace, rather. We saw some really wet and thicker snowflakes about an hour or so ago. But right now, I can't even catch any of the snowflakes on my gloves right now, so it's lightened up just a little bit, but again, it's a steady light snowfall continuing to fall. We're continuing to monitor things right outside our studio, and I can definitely tell temperatures are starting to dip. It's starting to feel a little bit cooler outside as well. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Daniela. Well, the weather is already affecting weekend plans. If your child is supposed to take part in a Charlotte-Mecklenburg activity like practice or a game, that has now been canceled. Those games tonight have been canceled again for CMS schools, for Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools.
Meantime, Charlotte roads are all clear right now, but could become treacherous overnight. News Channel 36 reporter Beth Shane begins our team coverage of the winter blast from the DOT maintenance yard in northwest Charlotte this evening.
We're actually watching the snow accumulate here out on the equipment. The first shift here set for that full activity tonight is actually due to arrive in about an hour at 7 p.m. We're starting to see some people around now. CDOT is planning on full coverage, 31 routes covered tonight, starting from 7 p.m. tonight until 7 p.m. on Sunday. Kind of amazing. They've actually put the plows on the trucks too, which is an indication to me that they do expect some accumulation out here. The salt really does the trick if we get an inch or less of snow, but in this case they have the plows out and they are ready to use them.
Anytime that you get predictions of upwards to 6 inches of snow, it's pretty serious, and it really kind of shuts down the city if you don't get out there ahead of it and do what you need to do.
And a reminder to you, because it's been a while since we had any significant accumulation, they're going to do the primary roads first, then they'll get to the secondary roads if that is necessary. They probably aren't going to come to your cul-de-sac, so if you're waiting for them to do that, well, you might need to grab a shovel. And another reminder also, 911 is for emergencies. If you have a weather situation, they're asking us, please, to remind you, please call 311 and keep those 911 lines free for actual emergencies. I'm live with our mobile newsroom at the CDOT maintenance yard in northwest Charlotte. Beth Shane, News Channel 36.
And the big worry for power companies is ice bringing down the lines. News Channel 36 reporter Glenn Counts has been gathering information on what Duke Energy plans to do. He's live now from West Charlotte.
Well, and Jeanette, we're here at the Operations Center where ground crews can stock up on items like those cross arms there or those switches and fuses. Those will be used to repair downed power lines. Hopefully it won't come to that. From Duke's Command Center, technicians monitor the weather and their call patterns to determine what part of the region or community is having the biggest problem. Of course, the call center plays a major role in determining who needs help and where trucks and line crews are sent.
Asking them to come prepared Saturday morning, packed and ready to work for multiple days. Really, until a storm hits and we know where the damage occurs, we don't deploy or stage crews in one area or other. We want to wait and see what damage is caused and where we need to deploy our crews.
Well, even though it is snowing now, this is basically the calm before the storm. The ground crews are at home getting their rest because when they hit the ground tomorrow morning, they know it could be several days that they will have to work before they get any rest. Reporting live from our mobile newsroom here at the Operations Center, Glenn Cass, News Channel 36.
And Glenn, if you should have a power outage, here are numbers for you to call. If you're a Duke Energy customer, call 1-800-POWER-ON. That's 1-800-769-3766. If you're a Blue Ridge customer, the number for you is 1-800-448-2383. We've put these numbers online at WCNC.com. Electric Co-op members can also find information about emergency contacts at WCNC.com. Just look for the On TV tab and then news links.
We're just seeing snow around here, but in Hickory, accidents are already affecting the roads. And News Channel 36 reporter Tony Burke is live in Hickory with the latest from there. Tony.
Yeah, Dave, we're already getting word of several accidents, including on 321, which is obviously a popular route in and around the Hickory area. Also, at least one on I-40. We've been told that whole stretch, basically, in this area is completely covered with snow and fairly treacherous. This right here is Lenore-Rhine Boulevard. This is also a popular stretch through Hickory here, and we can tell just within the last hour that folks have slowed down considerably because it's starting to get slick out there. It's very noticeable. In fact, it looks like some people have even chosen at this point not to even try to go up the hill, which really isn't all that steep. Of course, Rex is something that's going to happen whenever you get this much snow this quick. To give you some perspective on this, we've been in this location maybe an hour and 15 minutes. When we first got here, this was all grass. I mean, no snow. And you can see how much has accumulated in a very, very short amount of time. And of course, that's also on the roads. We're live now with the mobile newsroom in Hickory. Tony Burke, News Channel 36.
And we'll be watching the storm all evening with Brad bringing you prime time updates. Then join us tonight for News Channel 36 at 11 o'clock. We'll be here watching the storm throughout the night. Then tomorrow morning, we'll go on the air an hour early at 5 a.m. Brad, Bobby Sisk, and myself, along with the News Channel 36 reporting team, will bring you up-to-the-minute information you'll need to start your day.
When you're away from your TV, you can follow the weather online at WCNC.com. Right now, you can follow our live blog that'll run through tomorrow morning. We also have a map that shows the snowfall forecast for your neighborhood. And you can check to see if your weekend activities are on or off in our weather closings, as well as view a winter weather slideshow. That's all on WCNC.com right now.
And our coverage of the winter blast doesn't end here. Ahead, the concern over icy roads in South Carolina.
Yeah, take a look. This is a live look also at Blowing Rock, where you can see plenty of snow there. A lot of snow falling. Great conditions for skiing. And in other news, many of you complain loudly about